Gothic architecture. If you think about a medieval cathedral, you are likely to think about something like that. The question is, why this name? Why Gothic? Let's consider the gods. No, not that kind of gods. That kind! A Germanic people who conquered several kingdoms during the barbarian invasions. To make it simple, the Visigoths settled in Spain and southern France, while the Ostrogoths took Italy and Illyria. None of these kingdoms lasted very long. The Eastern Roman general Belisarius reconquered Italy less than a century later, and by the 8th century, Franks and Saracens had conquered the Visigothic kingdom. No more Gothic kingdom from the 8th century onward. Now you will see the problem with Gothic architecture. Gothic architecture was invented to improve the Basilica of Saint-Denis, near Paris, in the 12th century. After all, the King of France are buried inside. They needed a worthy place of rest. So not only Saint-Denis has never been in a Gothic kingdom, but the architectural style was invented something like 4 centuries after the last Gothic kingdom fell. Indeed, during the Middle Ages, it was called French style. To understand where the name Gothic comes, we need to consider the Italian Renaissance history. During this time, France tried to invade northern Italy. After all, rich city-states that are always at war with each other make a very tempting target, don't you think? So France tried to invade them. The not Holy, not Roman, not Imperial Empire prevented France from taking northern Italy, but even despite that, it didn't leave a good impression among Italian intellectuals. Also, you need to consider that the Renaissance was a time during which antique arts, including architecture, were revived. So, of course, when the invading foreigners use a style that is completely different from the antique canons, it can only be barbarians. And it wasn't as barbarians as the Huns, of course, so they used the name of barbarians who still had sacked Rome, just as France was doing to many Italian cities, the Goths. That's why this architectural style is named Gothic.